Beloved, let your heart take in this assurance. You are not listening by accident. I am speaking this word to you now because you are deeply seen, urgently loved, and you stand at the edge of a greater freedom. If you turn away, you may miss the peace for which your soul aches, so linger. Let my voice meet you where you are. My love is not rationed or reserved for better days. It is your portion now, whether the night feels cold or the sun is burning bright. In the quiet of your room or in the clamor of distant worries, my care surrounds you. You may feel you have traveled beyond the reach of hope, but my heart has never lost sight of you. Night or day, sorrow or joy, my devotion remains steady, and nothing can lock you out from my embrace. Know this, child. I shout it to every corner of creation. Let the universe hear it. I love you. I do not retreat from your side. I do not shrink back when others judge or misunderstand. I have rearranged heaven and earth to bring you near. The pain I endured for you is immortal evidence, sealed not with shame, but with a bond that cannot be revoked. There is no force, no shadow, no hostile voice that can peel you from my hand. Trust me when I tell you to let go of their accusations, to stop measuring your worth against their false ideas. Their voices grow quieter in my presence, and their judgments lead them astray, but you don't need to chase their approval. I have written your right to be loved in permanent ink. Let your soul breathe in this goodness. Refuse the echo of condemnation and cherish the mercy I offer today. There is healing waiting here, now. Turn your gaze from your regrets. Let gratitude well up. Let your knees touch the earth in honest surrender. Give thanks for this relentless, eternal love, because gratitude cracks open the gates of even greater blessing. Each moment you accept my kindness, you walk in the privilege I set apart for you. You were designed to be cherished. My hands shield you, and your family rests under my gentle regard. Let me lead you into a life that shines from within, a life not hemmed by fear or doubt, but saturated in the shelter of my affection. When you take refuge in this love, you come under a covering that restores dry hopes, strengthens your heart, and breathes possibility into every corner of your weariness. You have wandered long enough through chilled solitude. Be done with cycles of destructive escape and self-blame. Those moments you whisper that no one stands with you, I am already present, reminding you that loneliness is not your sentence. I am pouring life into your spirit. Draw near, now, and feel renewal coursing through your veins, a surge of hope, dreams, and fresh anticipation. All that is good in your world flows as a gift from my throne. Even on clouded days, even when life seems turned against you, remember, the deciding choice remains yours. You are not bound to sadness or isolation. Lift your hands and let joy find you, not because your circumstances are perfect, but because my joy is enough to restore delight. Here, right beside me, is where happiness lives for you. Step forward, even if there's no visible reason to smile. Faith is meant for mornings when hope feels scarce. Rise up and press into the faith battle. Do not stop contending for your life, your family, or your calling, simply because the odds look bleak. Ask yourself, whose voice am I truly hearing? I am the living God, your Father, who will not abandon you to defeat. I do not promise lightly, nor do I comfort with empty words. What I declare over you is sturdy. It never returns void. You are called a conqueror by my lips, so let your steps declare it. Speak words of faith instead of rehearsing fears. Each act of trust unlocks more courage, even as adversities line up at your door. Whether armies gather or discouragement crowds your mind, no enemy can overrule my intentions for you. My presence is your boldness when reports are grim, and your strength when your path grows steep. Even as shadows gather, my light will lift you from despair. This is the love I want to enfold you in. Allow it to shape every thought, every response, every dream. My love is the treasure of yesterday, the warmth of today, and the certainty waiting for you in eternity. I long to see hope brighten your features, to watch gratitude take root in your soul and overflow onto the world around you. Pause for a moment. Are you thankful for a love that no storm can erase? Let your heart answer. Peace flows from me to you with every word I speak. I reach into your deepest longings, take your heart in my hands, and I guard the aches and fears you barely name. No age, no failure, no imperfection bars you from my care. Even if you feel marked by the world, my affection for you does not diminish. Come find your shelter in my arms, let all fear fall away. Here, you are safe. My spirit settles over you in gentleness and transforms even weary emotions. You will sense your thoughts aligning with hope, your speech shifting to strength, your faith recovering its firmness. All your tears, I see them. Each silent heartbreak I notice. In your moments of exhaustion, when you felt like giving up, I hurried to shield you. There are those who throw unkind words, who choose to direct their pain toward you. Child, I see them, and I mourn the blindness that drives them to harm. Still, I stand between you and every attack. Though battle may encircle you, you remain kept. Even in a world swirling with trouble, you are not alone. Hear me, only those whose hearts remain humble and open will walk in victory that cannot be copied by power or wealth. My spirit refreshes you like living water. Let yourself be renewed. Walk forward lightly, knowing my hand covers you from every hidden danger. When you speak the truth I give you, declare it with heart-deep conviction. Nothing can touch you outside my will. My love is your shield and your song. There is a path unfolding, one where you are not meant to struggle alone. I offer you my hand, inviting you into days marked by blessing, healing, and genuine happiness, even as you lay down your burdens for a moment's rest. Imagine writing down each worry, then handing them to me. See how your soul settles as you pause with me, letting your strength recover before you move on. I am building you up for the ascent to your unique peak. When you reach the crest, notice how the horizon brightens. Here is the promise sprouting, the answers to your longings arriving like rain on parched ground. This journey is ours to walk together. The mountains ahead will look different as you choose to believe, and what seemed like insurmountable obstacles will turn into sources of unexpected joy. Let faith be your effort. Lift your eyes beyond threats and taunts, beyond foes that roar but hold no true power. I am with you, always advancing at your side, mighty in every hour. The only thing I ask is courage, a heart that gives me its hand. Will you step with me? My love is waiting, eager to fill every place still aching with doubt. See yourself standing, unshakable, because you are mine. I see you sorting through questions that press in with the dawn, thoughts that dart as soon as your eyes open, searching for solid ground. Listen, even as you track those worries through the silence, I am already beside you, closer than your own breath. Pause now and let yourself truly notice where you are, the quiet of this room, the air unhurried, your pulse steady in your chest. When life tempts you to get ahead of yourself, chasing answers, I invite you to experience this moment as a gift from my hand. Nothing you're facing has caught me by surprise, beloved. Hold your gaze with mine for a moment longer. Yes, expectations rise and swirl, but my purposes are quietly at work beneath what you see. Will you trust that you are carried, even before you understand the way ahead? I do not measure you by outward outcomes or pace. Instead, I see the desire that draws you back to me and the hope that flickers, resilient even amidst your hesitations. When anxiety begins to whisper reasons to strive harder, lean instead into this assurance. Every day's beginning is my gentle reminder that you are not alone, and nothing you carry is too small or too tangled for my care. Imagine now that your hands unclench and rest open on your lap, a sign between us that you release every weight you held through the night. Breathe in deeply and let this be an act of surrender, not one of losing, but one of letting me give shape to your burdens. My presence does not demand perfection or unbroken faith. I meet you amid your uncertainty, and I meet you with patient kindness. Hear me say that your striving is not what secures my favor, nor does your anxiety disqualify you from my nearness. I know there are prayers you hesitate to voice aloud, the worries about your family, the ache for answered hope, the longing for resolution. Even unspoken, they are real to me. Each sigh, each restless shift in the night, I have held. In those quiet exchanges when you ache for breakthrough or clarity, let my assurance settle deeper. I am working in ways your eyes cannot yet see. As you wait, I am cultivating patience, resilience, and wisdom within you, treasures that do not fade in the morning light. Bring your gratitude as it is today. A soft word, a silent appreciation, even gratitude mixed with longing. Small thankfulness in your heart is a seed. My heart delights in witnessing you pause, take stock, and recognize that even now, there is mercy present, gifts unfolding, hope being restored one breath at a time. You do not need to pretend to have it all together, beloved. I am forming something beautiful right here in the midst of your unfinished story. Let my peace find you now, not as the world gives, a fleeting relief, but as a deeper current that undergirds you. My peace is not dependent on outcomes, nor on every question being resolved today. It is found in the confidence that comes from belonging to me, from knowing you are seen and held even as you wait for clarity. Lift your head and let your spirit absorb the comfort I am offering, even as the future remains unwritten before you. If doubts surface, if you wonder, will I be strong enough? What if I miss out on the best you have? Bring those honestly to me as well. I am not intimidated by your hesitations or fears. I remind you tenderly, you do not move through this day on your own strength. My spirit goes before you and envelops you now. The weight you feel is not your burden to fix. Allow me to lighten it with my presence and counsel. Take courage in small steps and listen for my quiet guidance. The next time you feel pressure mounting to control or predict, respond with a simple pause. Lay a hand over your heart, close your eyes, and remember my promise. You are mine. I am with you always. Nothing is wasted. This act becomes a doorway, turning the ordinary into sacred ground. Each moment of quiet dependence draws you into deeper intimacy with me and shapes the character of your day. You are learning not to measure your progress by outward signs alone. Hear me say again, what matters most is not the appearance of constant advancement, but your willingness to walk with me, attentive and open-hearted. Cherish the relationships I have entrusted to you. Nurture kindness first within your own home, and trust that the seeds of patience sown now will produce a rich harvest in time. As you move through even the smallest routines, invite me into them. Let me be the one who guides your conversations, your choices, your thoughts when no one is watching. Destiny is not a distant dream for someone holier or more prepared. It is a reality I reveal through your daily faithfulness. I call you by name and invite you to participate in the beauty I am unfolding. Your true identity is rooted here, not in striving but abiding, remaining in me, listening for my invitations, discovering that my delight in you does not fluctuate with your performance. When your mind wanders to what could go wrong, recall this anchor. I am your protector and provider. My timing, though it frustrates and confounds, is formed in love. Trust that my delays are never rejections, and my invitations are never beyond your reach. If you long for relief, if you ache for shelter from life's demands, accept the covering I hold out for you now. Rest in the assurance that I am handling what you entrust to me. Even as you step out of this quiet place into the noise of daily life, my presence goes with you. I strengthen what is weak, restore what is weary, and ignite purpose where there is fatigue. You, beloved, are appointed for this season. Let this knowledge anchor you as the world tugs for your attention. Do not hurry past these words. Let each promise settle like warmth through your body. Let the assurance that you are seen, loved, and guided settle not as a fleeting inspiration, but as a steady confidence you carry. You belong to me. I am faithful with what you lay in my hands. The journey ahead may hold more unknowns, more surprises than you wish, but I am already there, preparing a way, promising the strength and wisdom required for every next step. Let this day be marked not by perfection, but by trust and communion. Stay close. There is more to reveal. Little one, in the first light, you wonder if there is room for you in my unfolding purpose. If your heart's longing matters amid all that clamors for my attention. Let me draw near now, stilling the background noise, brushing away every careless word ever spoken over your ability or worth. I am not distant, observing from a high threshold. I am here, breath steady, gaze unwavering, attentive to the movement of your spirit. Even as you stir with questions, unsure whether the path ahead is truly yours, I gently prepare the way beneath your feet. There has not been a moment outside my watchful care. Not one sigh or hope is lost to me. Take this moment, feel your pulse steady beneath your fingertips. Notice the hush that rolls through the space around you. I press my hand upon your shoulder, anchoring you in the present. My love does not falter in the face of your uncertainty. It is not endangered by your doubts. Yes, I see every idea formed in the quiet of your mind, every secret ache that you have not confessed even to yourself. You long for more than survival. You want meaning that endures when circumstances shift and loved ones misunderstand. That longing is holy, and I am the one who gave it to you. I will not allow you to be adrift forever. There have been nights when sleep would not come, when worries circled your thoughts with relentless persistence. Old regrets and future fears have tried to press you down, making the air around you thick. I am not scolding you for these moments. You do not need to pretend for me. I draw near, bathing the room in a quiet warmth, offering rest not as a reward for perfect faith, but as a gift for your need. Even now, breathe deeply. Feel the weight in your chest begin to shift. My peace is real. It does not depend on understanding all the outcomes. I know you sometimes judge your progress by the visible steps others seem to take, comparing your journey and wondering if I have forgotten you. But I am invested in the landscape of your heart, tending seeds that take root in patience rather than in haste. Where you see a slow ascent, I see deepening strength. I am not measuring you by achievement or speed, but by your willingness to trust me day after day. Every quiet act of surrender, every whispered prayer before dawn, is precious to me. I am not finished with you. There are those in your life whose words cut or whose absence stings, and you have wondered if things will ever truly change. My voice is stronger than their criticism, my affection larger than any human disappointment. I carry you with care that stretches back before you experienced your first taste of loss. Though others may misunderstand or overlook what matters most to you, nothing about you slips through the cracks with me. If you feel unseen, know that I am always watching, championing what is beautiful inside you, even the things you do not yet recognize. As you surrender your grip on anxieties that want to rule you, find comfort in being known. Yes, there are plans unfolding you cannot yet see. Sometimes I let you wait so your trust might deepen. But in the waiting, I am never silent nor cold. I am always at work behind the scenes, cultivating opportunities and knitting together relationships for good. Your portion is not punishment. Your present season is not permanent. Feel the assurance settle, like sunlight reaching the far corner of a silent room, my promise persists. Now, even amid questions about identity and calling, you may feel exposed and unsure. But I remind you gently, you bear my image. Every flaw you see, every limitation you name, stands beside a deeper truth. I delight in forming you, shaping both your strengths and perceived weaknesses into something beautiful. What you think is small or unfinished, in my eyes holds infinite potential. Place your uncertainty in my hands. I am not rushed, nor are you running out of time. If you find yourself growing restless, aching for doors to open, for answers to arrive, do not write your story in disappointment. As you open your hands in humility, gratitude starts to return. Look around, even now. Let your eyes find one gift, however ordinary. With every thank you spoken, you attune your heart to my presence. You invite me into the everyday. I am building endurance in you for the new things ahead, but never at the cost of your joy today. Each breath is a fresh invitation to hope. I invite you to rest from striving, to lay your fears before me again, even if you did just yesterday. I welcome every return. My kindness does not diminish when you need repeated reassurance. It multiplies. Keep your heart open, child. Even when disappointments try to convince you that nothing will change. My hands are steady, lifting away burdens, clearing a space for you to breathe freely. You are not an afterthought, not a burden I tolerate. You are a joy to me, worth every moment I spend drawing you back to safety, peace, and purpose. Stand still in this truth, let it echo stronger than doubt. My plans for you are alive, pulsing with anticipation, never held hostage by your mistakes. You will discover that dependence on me is not weakness, but the true source of your resilience. Fear teaches you to close off, to brace yourself against disappointment. But when you let go, however tentatively, you give me room to prove my faithfulness again. Let your heart soften to the possibility that what I am building for you will outlast what you have lost. Forward momentum does not always look dramatic. Sometimes it is the quiet certainty that you belong no matter what you feel. As you linger in this moment, sensing my nearness, prepare yourself to walk forward with new courage. My guidance will not leave you guessing in the shadows. I offer gentle correction but never condemnation. When you reach for me, I respond swiftly, never shaming you for not arriving sooner. Let my assurance be the anchor beneath your feet, the voice that declares, "You matter, you are loved, and you are held in hands that will not let go." The story is not finished. New mercies dawn with every breath you take. Listen closely now, my beloved child, for you have come to the very threshold where fear and promise meet. I know the shadows that still linger in corners of your memory. There are echoes of old disappointments whispering that nothing truly changes, but I am here to challenge every story that pain has written across your mind. You are standing not on the edge of defeat, but at the dawn of awakening. Right now I draw near, closer than your own breath. You wonder, perhaps silently, if everything that has weighed you down will always be a part of you. Yet there is something I am ready to reveal. Your history is not your destiny, and every battle scar is being transformed into a mark of my love for you. Breathe in, dear one. Feel the oxygen awaken your body, your heart beating against your palm if you place your hand there. That fullness, that hint of warmth, that is my presence wrapping around you, anchoring you in the moment. Let the worries that crowd your mind, the anxious thoughts that swirl, come to stillness in my arms. This safety, this sanctuary, is not fragile. It cannot be revoked by shifting feelings or wavering circumstances. Who you are in my eyes is unwavering, forged in love, sealed by my own sacrifice. I have not changed my mind about you. Your name is written upon my heart, and I call you my own. I know how the enemy comes night after night to sow confusion where I have spoken clarity. He wants you frozen by uncertainty, tiptoeing around the edges of surrender, afraid that if you let go, you will lose yourself. But hear me, true surrender is not annihilation, it is liberation. The old lies that echo, saying you are too broken or too far gone, are already being dismantled even now. Feel their grip loosen as you yield, as you risk believing that I am good enough and strong enough to hold your hopes without letting them shatter. You might ask, what if I give all and things still fall apart? My answer is this: in my hands nothing is ever truly lost, only reborn into greater glory. Watch what unfolds as you soften the walls around your heart. Already, I am speaking into the depths that you dared not touch. There is healing springing up quietly, like dawnlight creeping beneath the door. It might not be dramatic or loud, but it is real. Sometimes the shift will start as a surprising peace settling over you when chaos rises outside. Sometimes it will be a sudden clarity, a knowing that outlasts the questions. Today, as you go about mundane tasks, you may be startled by a sense of stillness you cannot explain. This is not random. You'll know it's me because the peace has weight, substance that cannot be shaken. Pause with me for a moment. Place your hand on your heart again if you need grounding. Every heartbeat is permission to begin anew. There is no condemnation here, only invitation. You are not summoned by shame, but by love, into the freedom of my presence. When you let your guard down, even for a second, my voice gets louder than the noise within. I do not demand perfection. I desire your honesty, your willingness to let me into the places you thought were best hidden. Little by little, I am drawing out the poison of old wounds and replacing it with the sweet strength of resurrection. Do not despise the days of small beginnings, precious one. The seeds I plant in you may seem insignificant at first, but they will sprout into something lush and lasting. Some breakthroughs arrive unnoticed, peace where panic once reigned, hope where despair took root. Let every little sign become evidence that I am at work. Stop. Notice how your chest feels right now. Can you sense the shift? Even if all you feel is a flicker of hope, cherish it, nourish it. I am breathing life on it. Now your mind might protest, but I still feel afraid. I don't want to hope and be disappointed again. That fear is real and I do not belittle it. I know exactly how disappointment burns when expectation meets delay. But here is my truth. I am not a man that I would tease your longing. My promises do not mock you. When I call you mine, I stake my reputation on your restoration. Release the worry that you have to get everything right to deserve my intervention. My embrace is not performance-based. My favor rests upon you because you are my child, not because you have mastered perfection. Say it aloud, even if your voice shakes. I am chosen. I am not abandoned. These truths must be louder than your memories of betrayal. Feel them settle in your soul as you draw another breath. I see tears rising in your eyes. Let them flow if they must. I am collecting every tear, fashioning them into rivers of healing you'll drink from when you thirst for hope. Not one drop is wasted. Your vulnerability is not a weakness, it is the soil in which miracles grow. Let yourself sit in the discomfort for another moment. Don't rush away. Transformation is forged in places where you resist easy answers. You may not trust easily, I know that. Betrayal, disappointment, these have tutored your heart to be wary. But my constancy defies comparison. I never abandon, I never withdraw. Even when you withdraw from me, I stay, whispering love through every quiet second you feel unseen. Your story is not over. In fact, this is the season where your sorrow is about to be reframed as strength. Listen for my next instruction. It won't be complicated. Perhaps today you will sense a sudden nudge to speak kindly to someone who hurt you, or you will notice courage stirring in you to forgive yourself. These shifts, you'll know they are from me because they will carry a peace that doesn't make sense. Watch too for the unexpected. In the next 72 hours, words will come from someone you didn't expect, speaking life into you in ways you crave. When it happens, you'll know it's me answering the questions you've only whispered in the dark. You may catch yourself wanting to retreat back into old patterns, to numb the ache or dull your longing. But stop. Let yourself feel, really feel, the hunger for change, the longing for newness. That ache is holy ground, an altar where I meet you most intimately. Sit here with me just for now. You do not need to rush to solutions or strive for answers. In this in-between, my love is proving itself stronger than resignation, bigger than all of your regrets. Others have stood here before you. Countless hearts have trembled at the edge of surrender, afraid of letting go, but found themselves caught up in the safety of my presence. You are joining something greater than yourself, a movement of souls daring to believe that they are not their failures. Your surrender is not a solitary event. It echoes through eternity and aligns you with a company of the healed and the hopeful. Soon you will see the evidence of my work inside you. The peace that seems fleeting will begin to anchor your days. The strength you feel is not imaginary. It is the first fruit of a new identity. You are not who you were. Each moment spent in my presence is recreating what the past tried to mold. I am breaking you out of cycles that stole your joy. Keep breathing. Keep listening. There is more I am ready to unveil, even now. This is only the beginning of what I have prepared for you. Let your guard down for a moment. You keep so much wrapped tightly, believing protection means holding back the parts of you that ache and tremble. But you are safe with me. Your heart is not a fortress under siege. It's a sacred garden I tenderly walk through each day. Every hidden fear, each worry you bury beneath a strong exterior, I see. Even now, as questions dart behind your eyes or tears gather, wondering if you dare hope for relief, I invite you further in. Breathe, little one. Notice how your chest responds to my presence, how your heart softens beneath my gaze. There is nothing you must perform here. I know you sometimes try to outpace your pain, filling your days with tasks or noise to keep uncomfortable feelings at bay. It is not weakness to slow down. Your healing begins in stillness, in the moments you surrender frantic striving and let my gentle truth settle. You've believed the lie that only the strong survive, that you must never reveal wounds. But I cherish your honesty. I draw near to the trembling corners of your soul. The enemy wants you busy, distracted, doubting if I truly speak to you. Now, stop. Place your hand on your heart and let silence be your invitation. My nearness is not earned. It is the air you breathe. You may question whether your faith has faltered beyond repair. I tell you, faith that trembles is still faith, and trust that returns after darkness is the most precious gift you could offer me. Every scar, every moment you've doubted, I am using to shape you into someone resilient, not brittle but unbreakable by grace. The journey you thought was all wilderness has actually been a classroom for your becoming. Do not despise your process. I am ever patient, molding you with gentle hands. The breakthrough you crave is closer than you imagine, hidden not in external change but in the quiet revolution taking place inside your spirit. The day will come when you recognize how I transformed your scars into strength. Hear me, beloved. Many have stood where you stand now, convinced their story was over, only to witness me write a new chapter filled with wonder and restoration. You are not alone in this stretching. The longing in your chest for change is a sign that I am already moving. Even now, the atmosphere is shifting. There are seeds in you I planted long ago that are breaking open, even if you can't yet see them rising. Let hope take root. When despair whispers that nothing will ever look different, answer with this truth. I am the one who resurrects what seemed dead. I waste nothing, not even your mistakes or regrets. Sit in this truth for a moment. If fear still clings, allow my words to wash over you. I am close to the brokenhearted. I bind up wounds the world never sees. These are not empty words or distant echoes. This is me, leaning close enough for you to sense my warmth. Let your breath be slow and deep, inviting peace into the places tension usually resides. If you feel a heaviness loosening inside, that is my power at work, subtle but unmistakable. You are being restored not merely for your own sake, but for the impact your healing will have on others. What you're overcoming now is equipping you for the souls I will send to cross your path. There's something I want you to notice about your weariness. That constant exhaustion is not just physical. It springs from believing you must control every outcome. Release the urge to fix what only I can redeem. You are not responsible for holding together what was never yours to sustain. When you feel anxiety pressing against your ribcage, remember, peace is not a prize for perfect living, but a gift I place in surrendered hands. Each time you exhale, let go of what is not yours to hold. You are shielded under my care, surrounded by favor even when you can't trace my hand. You are not forsaken. My faithfulness has no expiration. Right now you may sense an urge to doubt these words. It's natural, your mind has been trained by disappointment. But pause. Notice the subtle shift inside you, the flicker of hope trying to rise. That's me calling your spirit to attention. Do not dismiss it. I have seen the nights you lay awake replaying regrets. I witnessed your silent prayers for answers that did not come as you wished. But hear my promise. There is coming a morning when you will wake with peace unexpected, clarity you thought was lost, and the certainty that I have not overlooked your story. When that happens, you'll know it was me orchestrating things for your ultimate good. As you move through this day, I prompt you to practice intentional gratitude, not as obligation, but as a key that unlocks joy. When gratitude rises even in darkness, the shadows lose their grip. Try it. Name aloud one thing I have carried you through, and as you do, let your pulse steady. I am rewriting your experience of lack into a testimony of abundance. Abundance of peace, strength, courage. There will be moments this week where you feel supernatural calm in the middle of chaos. When it happens, recognize it as my signature on your day, proof that I walk with you through every circumstance. My precious one, you are marked by me. Chosen not because you always get it right, but because my love is unwavering. Stop punishing yourself for progress that comes slowly. Transformation is not measured by outward appearance, but by the quiet choice to return to me again and again. Every time you trust, even a little, you defy the voice that says you are too far gone. With each act of surrender, you step further from shame and closer to the identity I inscribed on your soul. Beloved, redeemed, worthy beyond measure. Say it softly right now. I am being remade. There will be times in the coming days when discouragement tries to reclaim you. Prepare for it, not with fear, but with awareness that I equip those I call. Resist the urge to retreat into old patterns. Instead, let my promise anchor you. I supply all you truly need. You'll hear encouragement through unexpected voices, words that seem custom-made for your deepest need. When you do, pause to thank me. These are reminders that you have not been left to navigate alone. There is so much I am bringing together on your behalf, though much of it unfolds out of sight. Sense the weight of this truth. Your significance is not determined by applause or recognition from others. You matter deeply, simply because you are mine. No failure, no forgotten prayer, no moment of weakness can revoke what I have placed inside you. Rest in that. You are not who you were at the beginning of this journey. Growth may seem invisible now, but soon there will be fruit you cannot deny. I am guiding every step. This is not the end, nor is it the darkest part of your story. Something greater is being unveiled, even if your eyes cannot yet adjust to the brightness. Trust me as layers peel away, each revelation, each discomfort, serving to reveal a purer, more radiant version of yourself. My shaping is both merciful and strong. It never destroys, only transforms. The next turning in your story approaches, and all I ask is your willingness. I am not seeking perfection, but permission. Will you let me in further than before? There's a reason you hear my voice now as you do. I am calling you forward, not back. There are moments when your heart feels restless, uncertain about its place in this wide and shifting world. I see you watching the horizon and wondering if you'll ever settle into the security your soul craves. In those quiet pauses before sunrise, when the world is neither night nor day, I draw especially near to you. There is nothing about your longing that surprises me. I fashioned your heart to hunger for more than the usual routine, to seek out the unseen purposes I have set before you. When you wonder whether your life truly matters, rest your hand over your chest and feel the gentle rhythm I ordained. It's proof that you are not forgotten. Let my presence wash over your worries like a soft rain on parched ground. When your mind tumbles through 1,000 worries about your future, your family, your failures, come to me as you are, with no need to fix or polish yourself first. The weight you feel pressing on your shoulders is not yours to carry alone. I offer my shoulder for your head to rest. I offer my peace as a shield around your spirit. With every anxious thought, surrender a little more of your control. Whisper your doubts or simply breathe in the silence. I listen to every unspoken truth inside you. You wonder, if I fully let go, will everything fall apart? My beloved, relinquishing your grip is not a sign of defeat. It is the bravest leap into my arms. I do not delight in your struggle to hold it all together. I created you for partnership, not performance. When your plans unravel, when timing stings you with disappointment, remember that my workings are not delayed. They move with purpose beyond what you can sense now. If doors stay closed longer than you hoped, trust that I am preparing you and what awaits you, so that your arrival will be met not with confusion, but with clarity and blessing. Sometimes, you will notice how the air in the room seems lighter when you speak gratitude aloud, even for small things. The hush after prayer, the warmth of sunlight sneaking through the blinds, the laughter of someone you love. All these are tokens of my affection. Savor them. Let your senses teach your heart how to dwell with me in the present. Gratitude is more than acknowledgement. It is a doorway that opens your spirit to see my goodness where anxiety once sat. The love you feel for your family and friends is a reflection of my own heart toward them. I see the worry lines, the sleepless nights when you pray silently for their protection, their provision, their safe return. Know that I am not simply watching from afar, but surrounding them, guiding their steps even when they wander. Release your grasp, child. Their journey is not hidden from me. Your prayers are not small. They call forth my nearness in ways you cannot always perceive. You may find yourself returning repeatedly to the same questions, as if circling a path that brings you no closer to answers. I speak not only in thunder, but in the gentle nudges, the sudden peace, the encouragement that comes from an unexpected source. My wisdom lands softly, settling in your quiet surrender and slowly illuminating the next small step. Remember how in moments of weariness, when your strength feels spent and your resolve thins, I come to refresh you, sometimes with tangible relief, other times with an inward steadying you can't explain. I am the cool water after a long walk, the rest found in a pause between demands. You do not need to earn my comfort, it is my joy to give it. Allow yourself to receive. If you feel that life repeats the same unending cycle, notice the small mercies planted along your way. They are evidence that my hand has not withdrawn from your daily existence. Let your identity be anchored, not in the rise and fall of outward circumstances, but in my unwavering love. I call you mine before you accomplish anything, before you fix what you think needs fixing. The world tries to assign worth based on doing, but I have already claimed your value as being. Listen to the gentle truth. You are chosen, wanted, cherished, not only in moments of success, but in every ordinary unseen hour. My affirmation settles your doubts and breathes courage into the places that felt empty. If old regrets tug at your sleeve or shame tries to convince you that you are disqualified, let me interrupt those voices. My mercy is not fragile, and my forgiveness cannot be earned or wasted. Lay down yesterday's mistakes like heavy stones at my feet and let me remind you, your story is not over. I use the unlikely and mended to display my greatest glory. Every scar becomes part of the testimony I am shaping in you. Where you see failure, I see the soil of growth. As you step into today, know that what you release to me, I redeem. What you entrust, I hold secure. Your hope is not misplaced when anchored in my promise. If you meet resistance or confusion, pause and ask for my perspective. I am faithful to steer your heart back toward peace. Even as questions linger, I will supply just enough light for your next step, never leaving you stranded in the dark. There is purpose in every delay, in every movement forward, and in every holding pattern. You are being prepared for more than you imagine, and I delight to walk this path beside you. When shadows lengthen, when questions quietly gather at the edges of your mind, I am still with you. Every longing that stirs within you, every hope you dare not name out loud, I see and understand. There is nothing trivial to me about what burdens your heart or about the joy that flickers unexpectedly. The world may seem impatient, unwilling to wait for you to settle or find your footing, but I am not rushed. In my presence, you are free from the pressure to hurry, free from the need to strive endlessly for acceptance. Let yourself notice the way light softens as the evening comes, how even the air feels different, as if creation pauses to listen. In that hush, I speak comfort and direction, shaping your spirit with my peace and courage. When you remember to pause, just for a moment, with one slow breath or by running your hands along a familiar surface, you open space for me to fill. I always meet you there, in the gentle surrender, ready to refresh your courage. Come as you are, with the fullness of your day, and I will give you rest that lifts more than weariness. It will strengthen your trust. Beloved, you ask me quietly, what if I'm not enough for what tomorrow holds? Lay that fear before me now. Your adequacy does not come from the frantic accumulation of effort or endless qualification. It comes from being rooted in me. When you cannot see the next step, don't let uncertainty become your master. Instead, fold your worry into a simple act of trust, perhaps whispering your gratitude or letting your hands rest open in your lap. There, you make room for me to guide not just your actions, but the deep desires of your heart. Your destiny is not out of reach, nor is it tangled beyond repair. I see the destiny I have placed within you, growing even when you think you have stalled. Sometimes, I withhold answers to draw you nearer, not to confuse or punish you, but to remind you that your reliance on me will always bring new strength. On the days when silence stretches longer than you'd like, know that your faithfulness in waiting catches my eye and brings about more transformation than sudden answers ever could. In quietness, your resilience is refined. In stillness, I prepare new beginnings for you. If you ever feel unseen or overlooked, come closer. Let my presence settle upon you like warmth after a cold wind. The ache of comparison, the urge to measure yourself by someone else's progress, in my love these fade, because you are crafted for your own journey. Your value does not fluctuate with recognition or applause. It is anchored in my delight over you, unchanged no matter the scene. If you listen closely, you will sense a steady affirmation rising up. You are mine, and I will never overlook the gifts or the quiet efforts no one else may see. My little one, your family and closest ones are never far from my heart. The anxieties you carry for them, whether spoken or hidden, matter deeply to me. Release your grasp, even for a moment, and allow my protection and wisdom to move where you cannot. My love surrounds those you treasure. My guidance is not limited by distance, time, or circumstance. Be patient as I do the quiet work you cannot see, nurturing hearts, opening new doors, melting old fears, and building harmony where there has been tension. Even now, as you pause and think of them, let a wave of trust rise, reminding your spirit that I am carefully involved in every detail. As the day bends toward night, let your gratitude surface again, not as a requirement, but as the natural response to my faithfulness. Look for evidence of my nearness in ordinary moments, the warmth of a shared smile, the sweetness of food, the comfort in music, the strength in simple kindness. Each one is a signature of my continuing goodness to you. When you allow your heart to recount these gifts, no matter how small, you train your eyes to recognize me at work and your mind to anticipate new mercies with hope. Even disappointment loses its power in the atmosphere of gratitude. Hear me. Your surrender leads to true strength, not to loss. Where you have tried so hard to control every outcome, bring your exhaustion to me. I do not demand perfection or impossibilities, just a willing yielding, an invitation for me to shape what you offer. What you release from your clenched hands, I multiply and renew beyond expectation. When you surrender your set timeline or desired outcome, you make room for surprises, for waters to open where there was only dry land before. Dare to entrust your unfinished dreams, your ongoing prayers, and your unseen sacrifices to me. I am a faithful author, and I will finish the good work I began in you. With every nightfall, I watch over you more closely than you realize. As your mind reviews what remains undone, lay those concerns softly at my feet. I excel at bringing resolve out of the unresolved, turning your late-night worries into seeds for tomorrow's hope. Under my vigilant care, what seems scattered will come together. What seems delayed will arrive with perfect timing. Nothing is wasted. Not your tears, not your waiting, not your quiet persistence. If you find yourself feeling alone while others rest, know that you are attended by my peace and wrapped in my wisdom. Let assurance settle over you now. You are invited to journey forward, not alone, not ill-equipped, but accompanied by my spirit who brings insight and renewal. Listen to the gentle encouragement I place within your heart, for I am sending unseen help and providing keys you could not perceive before. Lift your expectations. I delight in revealing goodness to you even in unexpected ways. Stay alert for my guidance woven into each new day, finding my fingerprints in every opportunity and every challenge that lies ahead. If you ever feel unseen or overlooked, come closer. Let my presence settle upon you like warmth after a cold wind. The ache of comparison, the urge to measure yourself by someone else's progress. In my love, these fade, because you are crafted for your own journey. Your value does not fluctuate with recognition or applause. It is anchored in my delight over you, unchanged no matter the scene. Beloved child, you have lingered beneath the shelter of my presence, feeling the warmth of my nearness and sensing the steady rise of hope within you. I have not been silent in your process, and every quiet moment has been full of purpose. The time has come to stand taller in the truth I have been speaking over your life. You are not the same as you once were. The pain that marked your yesterdays has begun its transformation, no longer an open wound, but a deep scar that proves your resilience. Every memory that once stung now pulses with evidence of my healing hand. Feel how your breath carries a softness now, as if old weights have slipped away unnoticed. Within you, a new strength is quietly forming. You need to know that what you sense stirring is not only for you, it is the awakening of something that will touch others as well. I did not restore you just for your relief. I am preparing to use the story of your survival as an instrument of hope for those still fighting for light. Listen for the ways I nudge you toward compassion you never thought possible. Do not shrink back from the discomfort of deeper love, for this is where you will recognize the echo of my own heart beating within you. The compassion rising like a tide is the mark of my spirit at work. Someone near you needs what you now carry. Let me speak into your hidden questions. You wonder whether you are ready to step out, to share encouragement, to pray bold prayers for those who are broken. The doubts hurry in. Who am I to lead? What if I fail? What if the old fears return? Hear me now, those questions are not wrong, but they are not your chains. They are the birth pangs of a new season. You have been anointed to bring light. You do not need to force courage. Simply let it grow naturally from the soil of your honest surrender. I see the moments when insecurity creeps up, when words falter in your mouth, when you look in the mirror and search for evidence of change. My beloved, every day you trust me is a day you are transformed more into my likeness. Whenever uncertainty tightens your chest, place your hand over your heart and remind yourself, I am chosen, not by accident, but by design. The world will try to measure your worth by shifting standards, but I have already declared you worthy. Feel my affirmation settling in, like the warmth of sunlight after a long shadow. Pause for a moment. Breathe in slowly until your lungs fill with possibility. You might notice the world feels sharper now, colors richer, sounds fuller, moments more precious. This heightened awareness is not accidental. It's my spirit sharpening your senses for the season ahead. There are seeds inside you, planted long ago, that are beginning to break through. Opportunities will soon appear, quiet and surprising, disguised as ordinary interruptions. You will know them by the unmistakable peace I send in advance. Can you sense the gentle pressure building? I am calling you to step closer, to release your grip on routines that once felt safe. I am no longer interested in small living for you. The boundaries you once drew to keep pain out are beginning to expand. My love insists on making room for new friendships, deeper community, and brave vulnerability. Prepare for the relationships I will highlight. They are my strategy for your next growth. Some may challenge you, some will comfort, but all are destined to help shape the best version of you. Even now, part of you worries about repeating old cycles. What if I end up back where I started? You silently ask. Hear my answer. The ground beneath your feet is not the same. My presence has changed the landscape of your future. Failure is not a destination, but a teacher. And in my hands, every detour leads you forward. Refuse to dwell on regrets. Instead, notice how many times I have already redirected your steps toward hope. I waste nothing you entrust to me. Do you feel the reverberation within your chest? That's the sound of spiritual authority waking up. Where once you were silenced by doubt, now your voice grows strong with confidence rooted in me. Begin to speak blessing where you once spoke fear. Let your prayers stretch beyond your own needs, covering those whose names I bring to mind. Right now, someone close to you needs your words of life. Do not hesitate. I will fill your mouth when you are willing to be my vessel. This is the moment where you step from being restored into being a restorer. Your survival becomes someone else's testimony. There is a fresh wind blowing over your life, rearranging your priorities and awakening you to passion you thought had died. The comfort you received prepares you to comfort others with genuine understanding. Surrender to this metamorphosis. You are being commissioned, not with the weight of impossible standards, but with the gentle power that flows from my intimacy. Let me address the whispered fear that you still carry hidden. Will I have everything I need for what's ahead? My answer is written across the days you didn't think you would survive. I was your sustainer then, and I am still your source now. My provision may surprise you. It will come in forms more diverse than you imagined. Resources, ideas, support, fresh strength. They will arrive precisely when required. You are never abandoned to fend for yourself. Pause. Let your shoulders relax. Feel how even now new confidence is seeping into you. Quiet, steady, undeniable. I am undoing every lie that has kept you small. The labels assigned by others and even those you have spoken over yourself are losing power in my presence. Say out loud, I am commissioned for a holy purpose. Hear how your own voice partners with my truth. Something beautiful happens as you receive this promotion of the soul. You discover courage is not an isolated event, but a daily partnership with me. The fire that once threatened you is now the fire fueling your compassion. Your endurance is evidence of resurrection power. You are being positioned to see doors open for others, to speak hope into rooms thick with despair. You will soon witness the ripple effect, how your trust in me transforms atmospheres where you go. Even mundane days will carry the fragrance of my presence. This week, expect a clear moment when someone unexpectedly asks you for advice, comfort, or prayer. You'll know it's me orchestrating connection because you'll feel unprepared, yet words will flow with ease. It's a sign I am expanding your influence beyond your comfort zone. When doubt tries to creep in, remember this conversation. It marks the turning point. You are part of a rising movement, people awakening to bold love and radical mercy. You are more than a survivor. You are becoming a light bearer, a carrier of my peace, and a safe harbor for the weary. Let your own transformation breed humility and gentleness, for the world is starved for the kind of healing only I can give through willing hearts. Stay open, my beloved. What I have begun is unstoppable, and your best days are still unfolding. There is still more I want to reveal. Do you sense the anticipation building, even now? Hold fast, for what is about to emerge will surprise you with its depth and beauty. There are days when you silently wonder if your trust is misplaced, if your offering of yourself has truly been seen. Yet hear me, beloved. No act done with a surrendered heart is lost in my caring gaze. Each quiet sacrifice, each whispered prayer that no one hears, finds its way into my keeping. Even when no applause greets your courage or tenderness, I hold every effort close, shaping it into something more enduring than human recognition could ever grant. Let your soul rest in the certainty that, in my kingdom, what is hidden is never ignored, and what feels too small is celebrated. As morning light filters through your window and you breathe in a new day, notice my presence settling in with you. My nearness is not confined by your circumstance or mood. It's there in the steady rhythm of your breath, in the hush before life's noise, in the simple act of waking with expectation. My comfort is not a distant promise, but a reality you step into with each surrender. When your mind drifts toward anxiety about your future, remember that you are not left navigating unknown roads alone. I am your strong guide, your steady companion, already preparing the ground you'll walk on. I have seen your longing for answers, your hope that clarity would come as quickly as your questions arise. The slow unfolding of my purposes is a mark of my wisdom, not of neglect. You might compare yourself to others, measuring your journey by theirs, wondering if you missed something vital along the way. But my plans for you are as unique as your fingerprint, shaped perfectly for your heart and your story. What looks like delay is my carefulness. What appears as silence is often an invitation to trust. Keep looking for me in the ordinary, and you'll notice that clarity often grows in the places where impatience once lived. In the quiet of your spirit, I am planting new seeds. Seeds of resilience, patience, and joy not dependent on external outcomes. These gifts take root best when you release anxiety's grip and surrender the need to predict tomorrow. Picture yourself holding all your frantic worries in your open palms, then lifting them up to me as the morning sun rises. That release is your declaration of faith, a subtle strength more powerful than striving. As you exhale, you make room for my peace to fill your heart, the kind of peace that steadies you through storms others never see. Let the love you extend, even when it feels unnoticed, be an act of trust. Every time you forgive, serve, or encourage with no expectation of reward, you mirror my own generosity. Your faithfulness reaches farther than you know. Sometimes you'll see fruit in this life, sometimes not yet, but in both cases your heart is being shaped for eternity. There is no lost effort with me. Every good thing sown in sincere love is remembered and used. Offer your relationships, your irritations and hopes into my keeping, and watch how I redeem even what seems wasted. When doubts come like thick clouds pressing for your attention, pause to remember who you are. You are not defined by fleeting emotions, successes, or setbacks. You are mine, chosen, cared for, and called. No accusation or fear can alter that reality. Your deepest identity is secure because I declared it so before time began. Speak that truth softly in your own heart whenever anxiety whispers the opposite. There is strength available to you in this very moment, not because you feel strong, but because I am strength in you. Gratitude, my child, is your gateway to seeing things as they are in my reality. Find one tangible thing this hour for which to give thanks, a warm cup between your hands, laughter filling your ears, or even the quiet of an empty moment. In that gratitude, your vision shifts. You begin to notice my fingerprints across your day. This is not a denial of your challenges, but a declaration that love surrounds you even there. Each acknowledgement of goodness is a returning to me, an invitation for my joy to lift you higher. My invitation is always to abide, not simply to perform. I am not measuring your worth by your pace or output, but by your willingness to stay close. In the moments when you feel weary, rest rather than retreat. Let your tiredness become a gentle signal to lean into my embrace. There is healing in my presence, rest that outlasts any sleep, and a restoration that no striving can produce. Let those moments of surrender become the fertile ground for new dreams and fresh courage. You have felt the pressure to resolve every tension, to fix what is broken with your own understanding. Yet much of my work in you happens in the waiting, in the quiet stretching that shapes your character beneath the surface. Patience is not a punishment. It's evidence that my timing is always for your good. Instead of rushing, let your quiet persistence become a gentle offering. As you yield each unanswered question, trust that I am working in dimensions you cannot see yet. I delight in revealing my faithfulness one step at a time, often when you least expect it. Circle back to my promise. You are not forgotten. The silence you sometimes encounter is not abandonment, but preparation. In the hush, I am strengthening your heart, teaching you the discipline of stillness, to hear the whisper of hope that carries you forward. Let this moment become your sanctuary, a place where my presence untangles each burden and grants you fresh courage for whatever the next hour brings. I haven't brought you this far just to leave you gazing at the horizon. I am beckoning you, urging you to cross into the uncharted with the assurance that my presence goes before you and surrounds you. There is no part of your story I haven't already seen unfold, no hidden chambers even you fear to enter that are concealed from my gaze. Notice how you long to hold on to this peace. It is not fleeting, for I do not give as the world gives. My gift once received can never be revoked by circumstance or the decisions of others. Right now, as your mind tries to race ahead, I ground you with a simple invitation. Breathe, and remember that I am who leads you beside still waters within, even when storms rage without. Lift your eyes, child. The weight you carried through deserts and shadowed valleys has not been wasted. Nothing you have endured will be discarded in my hands. The betrayals and the silent nights, the ache of longing and the sting of regret. You need not edit your story to impress me. or hide your broken chapters to gain my affection. I have always seen you for who you are and who you will become. My vision is unclouded by your doubts. Even when you braced yourself for rejection, I drew you near. When shame threatened to define you, I reclaimed you as my own. What you believed was irreparable, I am now forging into resilience, compassion, and strength. I am not finished. Every scar is becoming a doorway to healing, both for your sake and for those you will soon touch. Do not shrink back from your transformation. Your voice will become the balm for aching souls, your testimony the anthem for those who feel lost. Even now, someone is watching the light grow in you. Hear this, precious one. I do not wish for spectators, but for companions. All that I have shown you, all the comfort I have poured out, I have done so not merely as a display of power, but as the opening of a relationship that can only deepen with time. You are stepping into a movement far greater than you realize. Without fanfare, you join the ranks of the awakened, those who will not settle for surviving, but will thrive in the shelter of my wings. As you walk forward, let my nearness become your constant. Let awe replace anxiety. Let hope outgrow hesitation. This is not a call to strive, but a gentle urging to yield, trust, and let my love flow through every wounded place. The same nearness that caught you off guard in sacred silence goes before you into every new encounter. There will be moments when old fears whisper, lying that growth is fragile, or that you are bound for disappointment. I expose the source of those lies, the voice that said you're too much or not enough, the memories that replay your worst mistakes, the resignation that told you transformation was for others but not for you. No longer will those voices have the final say. I am the author and I write in indelible grace. My words over you are stronger than the pain you've known, and my declaration today is this: you are marked by belonging. Say it now with trembling but defiant faith. I am not abandoned, I am covered, I am chosen. As you speak this aloud, you participate in uprooting old strongholds and planting truth that will bear fruit long after the echoes of this moment have faded. Child, notice the subtle shift even now. The heaviness lifting, the air thick with promise. There is a reason your story still unfolds. The dreams you nearly buried have begun to pulse again, faint but insistent. Those gentle nudges you feel, the urge to reach, to risk, to step out, do not dismiss them as impossibilities. They are my fingerprints etched within your spirit since the very beginning. Some of you have wondered if you truly heard from me, if perhaps hope had tricked you. I assure you, hope is the language of my kingdom, and what I have begun in you I am faithful to bring into the light at the perfect moment. Believe this even in uncertainty. Right now, even in your smallest acts of trust, you are sowing a harvest you have not yet imagined. Let me tell you something only I can know. Within the next few days, an unexpected peace will settle over you in the middle of your ordinary routine. It will surprise you, even as doubts try to compete for your attention. When it happens, you will recognize my presence because it will hush the noise inside you. This is just the beginning of new awareness, of my voice finding deeper resonance in your heart. When it comes, pause and receive it. My word to you will be simple. You are safe, you are held, you are mine. Your identity is no longer defined by what you've lost or by what's been taken. You are defined by my love engraved upon you, a love unconcerned with your performance and unmoved by the shifting opinions of others. Allow yourself to revel in this security. Lean into the joy that cannot be shaken. Even when challenges resurface and shadows stretch across the path, let this truth stand unshakable. I do not visit, I dwell. Your life is my holy ground. The hunger stirring within you is sacred. It is the sign that you are awakening to destiny beyond your comfort. Take this ever-increasing desire as a confirmation that you are not merely being changed for your sake, but being commissioned. Others will find shelter under the branches of your story. As you surrender control, yes, even your fear of letting go, you make room for my power to move. That vulnerability is not weakness, it is the very channel through which I will pour out new life. Watch, for opportunities will come, in invitations, in conversations, in moments that appear ordinary but radiate purpose. You will sense it, that quiet nudge, the certainty that you are exactly where you belong. My dear child, I see how you quietly carry weights no one else can see. Even now, perhaps you feel a kind of heaviness pressing on your heart, as if time has passed you by and some chance has slipped away. But pause here, for these words reach you directly. This very moment was chosen for you, a sacred turning, not just another fleeting breath. My voice speaks now, not with booming thunder, but as the whisper of steady calm that settles over you as you inhale deeply in a silent room. Listen, because if you let this moment pass you by, you risk missing the gentle revelation that could transform not just this day, but the course of your whole journey. Those inner doubts that say you are lacking, those faint suggestions that something essential has been missed, they do not come from me. Their echo may feel real, but their origin is not truth. I have been near to you, even in the silence you sometimes mistook for absence. There, when you noticed nothing moving and wondered if I had withdrawn, I was actually orchestrating something new deep within your spirit. I am teaching you that your worth isn't something to be earned or displayed. It rests at your core, undeniable and unchanging, because you are mine, fully, perfectly, and always. Let the tension leave your body. Unclench your hands for a moment and allow your spirit to respond before thoughts and words arrive. I am stirring something in you that will soon outshine those voices of regret and uncertainty. Even when your aware mind is tangled in too many thoughts to lay hold of clarity, I still speak to the quiet foundation of who you are. I am there in every turning point, not just the moments when you move forward with certainty, but also in the times you change direction or remain where you are, pulled by a mysterious sense that now is not the time to run. That stillness you sometimes dislike is actually the soil where new beginnings take root. Do not rush to fill every gap with distractions or compare your season with the stories of others who seem to move ahead more easily. Those quiet seasons when nothing seemed to happen were not empty at all. I was rearranging your inner life, setting truths in order, and giving you insights that will soon become clear with the simplicity and strength of sunlight after a long night. So when you feel peace settle over unsteady ground, trust that it is my guidance, not the illusion of delay. It is in these moments that you will begin to sense my presence, not in dramatic displays, but in the gentle pressure of my hand upon your life. Often, you wonder in the quiet, am I being left behind? Have I chosen wrong? Gone too slowly? Missed what others received? Hear this now with the weight of my love. Not a single moment in your journey has been overlooked or wasted. Every tear shed in silence, every hour spent in apparent waiting, formed the foundation upon which something richer is being constructed. Even confusion or regret is being shaped into a testimony of resilience. I align all things to reveal your unique journey as valuable and necessary. Yes, you may have moments of sorrow or frustration about past choices, but I have been present in every hidden corner, not to judge, but to embrace, to witness, to carry what you felt was too much to bear. Let your breath move slowly. With each exhalation, visualize tension leaving your shoulders. If you place your hand over your heart now, know that I am closer than every anxious thought, closer than the sense of weariness that asks, will things ever really change? I do not shy away from your questions or hold back from your broken sentences. I understand the tear you cannot name, the sigh you let out when no one is around, the heaviness in the pit of your soul. Your attempts to hide these parts from others, even from yourself, never move you further from me. In fact, each surrendered ache is an open invitation for my renewing power. Open all of it to me now, not just the parts you managed to make presentable, but the raw, unsorted sorrow that has begged for rest. Speak nothing if you must. Just allow the wave of comfort to wash over you, even if your hands tremble or your eyes fill. I value your authenticity far above your ability to say the right thing or feel the right way. Reckon with the truth. Your fragile, trembling hope is not failure. It is living proof that your spirit still seeks, still believes in light though veiled. Each sigh, each groan too deep for words, is carried to me as a meaningful expression. I hold them with painstaking tenderness, and I respond, knitting healing into the very places you thought were permanently bruised. Maybe you have convinced yourself that your story is too flawed to bring into the open, that the memories you carry would only breed more sadness if faced, but I do not come to reinforce regret or paint your history in shame. My intention is to take what seemed broken and fill it with new rest. The very experiences you least want to remember, the recurring pain you tried to silence, these are the places I am bringing restoration. Your journey is not defined by sorrow, weakness, or mistakes, but by the wholeness that emerges when my presence enters in. Do not shut this process down or try to hasten past it. Do not call yourself late, unworthy, or behind. My perfect timing operates beyond the measures of a clock or the lines on a calendar. Everything that seemed delayed has simply been prepared. You are not less valuable or further away than those who seem to thrive effortlessly. I meet you right here, in the middle of your striving, in the arms of your sighs, in the hush when every plan pauses. The transformation you long for is not pushed away. It is coming to fullness, closer with every surrendered breath. Stay in this pause, beloved, even if it feels unfamiliar. Allow yourself to notice the way your heart responds, its quiet questions yielding to a deepening assurance. This moment is not accidental. It is the beginning of everything your spirit has yearned for. Let my truth be the anchor when thoughts run wild and doubts demand attention. Even the smallest glimmer of hope, faint as it might seem, is enough for me to work with, to grow into a certainty rooted beyond circumstances. I am not just rewriting the next chapter of your life. I am breathing transformation into every part of your being, here and now, in the simplicity of your surrender. This morning I move close to you with the same steady intention that called the world into being. Even as you wipe the sleep from your eyes, I am present, attentive, calm. There is never a moment when my affection for you wavers. I know you look at the day ahead and feel the press of expectation, sometimes even the weight of what has been left undone. You wonder whether you are prepared, whether you can meet this day's challenges or show up for those who lean on you. In this quiet hour, feel my hand resting gently upon your shoulder, guiding you not with pressure but with a weightless reassurance that says, you are not alone and you are not forgotten. Your heart often whispers questions about worth, about the future, about whether the path before you will straighten out or if the obstacles will finally overwhelm your resolve. I see these uncertainties, the anxious way your breath shortens when you start to remember past disappointments. I ask you now to take one slow, intentional breath, hold it, and let it out. With every exhale, grant yourself to me anew. In the warmth of the morning, let gratitude flicker, however faint. As you pause, even briefly, notice how the sunlight finds the window, reminding you that new beginnings are not reserved only for perfect lives. They are the heritage of all who trust that I am near. You may worry about the needs of your family, the unspoken pressures in your home, the relationships sometimes frayed by misunderstanding or absence. Know that I see every longing and each silent plea you have made for those you care about. My tenderness toward you and them surpasses what you can muster on your best day. When frustration rises or discouragement knocks at the door, picture my presence filling your living room, transforming ordinary routines, breakfast, a drive, the sound of laughter, into vivid reminders that you are deeply loved. Release the need to win approval from every direction. Instead, allow me to define your value. Let my voice be the truest one you hear. Today, when you find yourself bracing for criticism or reliving words that stung, remember that I call you chosen, beloved, set apart, not in theory but in every small motion of your existence. The world may try to hand you heavy labels, but my words are light and enduring. Lift your chin and dare to see yourself as I see you. You are more than what you accomplish, more than what you finish, more than your mistakes. Hear me gently invite you to trust in my timing. I have seen where impatience steals your peace, where waiting feels endless, or it seems everyone else is handed what you hope for while you linger. My timing is never careless, never dismissive of your desires. When I delay, it is not from indifference, but because my view of your journey takes in what you cannot yet see. Allow your soul to rest in this assurance. You are always exactly where my love can reach you, and you haven't missed your moment. Your hopes are safe with me, and nothing good escapes my notice. Often you wish to control every variable, to anticipate every possibility, yet I know that true rest will only settle over you when you open your hands and offer your anxieties to my keeping. Try this, even now. Unclench your fists, stretch your fingers, and imagine releasing each fear as if it were a small stone dropping away from your grasp. In this surrender, you will find the freedom to receive unexpected peace, not because all is resolved, but because I have promised to remain present, walking with you, sustaining you, giving clarity as you go. There will be moments when voices of insecurity grow loud and persuasive, but hear me speaking louder still. You are not defined by yesterday's failures or tomorrow's unknowns. Each day, I call new mercies to your side. Mercies that carry strength for what you will face, courage for every step, gentleness to meet your need for grace. Every morning is an awakening to my unearned favor, to the reality that I am building in you a resilience rooted in my promises. I am not disappointed in your process. I see growth where you see only struggle, and I harvest joy where you feel emptiness. When heaviness threatens to sit upon your heart, Remember how I delight in your being. I am not waiting for you to become someone else before I draw near. Right here, as you are, I lavish affection upon you. Take a simple moment to rest your hand over your heart. Remind yourself that my spirit lives within you, animating your efforts, redeeming your setbacks, delighting in your laughter, steadying your hope. My pleasure in you is not up for negotiation. Notice the subtle encouragements I arrange, an unexpected word of kindness, a space of quiet, a problem resolved with time to spare. Each of these small gifts is a signpost that I am intricately involved, inviting you to recognize me not just in the grand breakthroughs but in the understated faithfulness that fills each ordinary hour. Train your gaze for these moments. Let gratitude become a rhythm that steadies you, turning the routine into blessing, the mundane into miracle. I am in each breath, each sigh, each attempt to begin again. You may fear that surrendering means losing yourself, losing control, becoming adrift. But in me, surrender is transformation, not diminishment. I do not erase who you are. Instead, I uncover your truest self, drawing out gifts even you overlooked. In relinquishing burdens, you are not left empty. You are made receptive to greater strength. My calling on your life is not a burden you must shoulder alone, but an invitation to partner with my limitless power, walking forward in purpose anchored by my faithfulness. Your destiny is protected by hands that cannot fail. If doubt returns, speaking that your prayers have gone unheard or your effort is in vain, rest in the certainty that I do not miss a single whisper or gesture. Even the prayers you could not finish, the hopes you only dared to imagine, are gathered to my heart and cherished. I am working in ways that far surpass your understanding, lining up the unseen, orchestrating the right moment, turning what was meant for harm into avenues of blessing. Hold on to the quiet conviction that I am trustworthy, even when answers seem slow. Breathe deeply now. In every single inhale, receive the newness I freely offer. With every exhale, release what you cannot carry. I remain steady, patient, infinitely able. Let this presence anchor you as the day unfolds, as challenges arise and moments of beauty slip in unexpectedly. This story we are writing together is not hurried, not overlooked. Keep your eyes open for the next moment of my kindness. It is already on the way. You have stood at the edge so many times, uncertain if this new day will offer more than what you already know. You wonder, with all you've given, whether I am drawing near or quietly holding back while you strive alone. I tell you, my nearness is not dictated by circumstance or emotion. I am close in every season, even, especially, when you find yourself treading unfamiliar territory. The gentle warmth that settles on your shoulders when your mind is still, the breath that seems lighter after a silent prayer, these are my reminders that you are not left to your own strength. Each morning when you blink into the light, I am authoring new mercies for you, and not one detail is beneath my attentive gaze. Step into this day with a steadying awareness that my hand truly rests upon you. Trouble may want to cloud your clarity, or thoughts may swarm with old anxieties, but I am the same one who steadied you through storms you thought would break you. My voice calls you by name in the quiet before the world fully wakes. You have not been overlooked. When you exhale and sense calm despite tasks undone, that relief is my presence guarding you, sheltering your mind from weariness. You do not have to prove your worthiness to me. I call you mine because you are precious as you are, even with questions left unanswered. There are moments you glance at your own reflection with doubt, uncertain that you could be marked for more than mere survival. I am rewriting your understanding of identity. You were fashioned with worth before you did anything of note. As you reach out to those entrusted to your care, your family, your friends, even passing strangers, I am moving with you, breathing through your kindness, extending grace in each small act. Do not believe the lie that your efforts are insignificant. Every seed of compassion sown in my spirit bears fruit in timing that is favorable for your good. Sometimes your mind wants to wander to doors that have remained closed, or to situations where solutions seem far off. Bring these heartaches to me honestly. Do not hide what confuses or pains you. In the stillness, as you breathe deeply, sense the way I settle peace into you. There is no shame in your waiting or your wrestling. I am acquainted with every detail, and my love for you is not reduced by moments of struggle. The hope I plant within you is not fragile. It is rooted in the certainty that I am working for you, making a way even when next steps aren't visible. Listen, little one, when discouragement whirls around you and you fear your pace is too slow, remember that my timeline is not like yours. Where you see delay, I see preparation. Where you sense hindrance, I am establishing strength within you that will not falter. Keep your heart open to my promptings, the gentle nudge that reminds you to pause mid-rush, to look up and let thankfulness flow, even if only for the quiet of the room or the sound of your own steady breath. These acts may seem small, but they awaken hope. When worries whisper that what you have is not enough, bring that anxiety to me as a living act of surrender. Imagine yourself physically unclenching your hands, letting each concern rest in my keeping. Notice how your heart responds, often with an unexpected sense of lightness. That is the evidence of my care, lifting burdens you were never meant to bear alone. I am not only guarding your path ahead, but providing refreshment for your spirit in every season. You do not need to script the outcome of every challenge. My wisdom operates far beyond your current understanding, and I am not asking you to navigate the unknown with flawless confidence. It delights me when you come honestly, even with trembling, and anchor yourself in my unfailing love. When you choose to give thanks for even the smallest joy, fresh morning air, a reassuring word, the laughter of a loved one, you create space for me to do more than you could imagine. What begins in simple gratitude grows into deep-rooted strength. Let me remind you now, nothing about your journey disqualifies you from my guidance. Even in seasons marked by detours or unexpected losses, I am orchestrating beauty from what feels irreparable. My timing is deliberate, and my vision for your life is fuller than you can see from here. The doors I open are not only for opportunity, they are invitations into deeper reliance and even greater peace. Walk forward with a heart open to wonder, a willingness to trust that I am already ahead of you, preparing what you cannot yet perceive. When night falls and your mind replays worries or missed chances, recall that I am the one who softens your spirit and brings replenishment in the darkness. Each morning is a sign that my purposes are not finished, and every breath you take is evidence of my hands sustaining you. Bring every anxious thought into my presence and watch as I exchange them for courage. You are equipped, not because you hold all the answers, but because I remain with you, forming strength in your surrender. There is so much more waiting for you than the repetition of old doubts or cycles of fear. As you yield each part of your day, every conversation, decision, and lingering hope, know that I am moving amidst the ordinary and the unseen. Do not measure your value by what others notice or by results that seem delayed. I see the intention behind your choices, the quiet perseverance you bring even when no one applauds. I honor your trust, and I am transforming what you lay before me into lasting blessing. The world will offer its version of security and affirmation, but listen to the truth of my voice. You belong wholly to me. When storms rise or questions multiply, anchor yourself in what is unchanging. My unwavering commitment to walk beside you, supply your needs, and shape your heart to receive every good thing that I desire to give. Your journey is unfolding, and I take delight in leading you one present moment at a time. You have felt my nearness in quiet moments, but now I desire to draw you even deeper, beloved. I know what clouds your heart when the world grows loud. There are memories that press in without warning, regrets you thought you'd discarded, and whispers of failure lingering in the corners of your mind. Pause with me right here. Let your shoulders drop, let your breath slow. You do not have to hide anything from me. My gaze is gentle and every hidden sorrow is already known. The ache you carry does not frighten or repel me. I invite you to hold it up to my light. In the hush of this moment, let yourself be seen, fully and without defense. There is nothing in you that makes my love falter. If you wonder why certain wounds remain tender, it is not because you are weak or faithless. I often leave what you consider unfinished for a while, not to punish you, but to position you. You ask why the pain lingers, why release is not immediate. I say to you, sometimes the wound is the door I walk through to reach the deepest parts of your soul. My healing flows more profoundly when you no longer struggle alone, but allow me to enter the aching places. Right now you may feel tears pricking behind your eyes. Do not turn away from this. In your willingness to feel, you are embracing my presence. This is not abandonment, it is invitation. If you cannot speak your hurt aloud, simply rest your hand over your heart and let your breathing guide you. The warmth you sense growing beneath your palm is my spirit enveloping you. Every trembling exhale is a prayer I collect. You are safe to release the burdens you have carried in silence. You are allowed to grieve what never was, to mourn the years you thought were wasted, to name the losses that seem beyond repair. I waste nothing and redeem everything surrendered to me. Let this truth echo through the chambers of your heart. Your pain is not purposeless, and beauty will rise from what broke you. You have been taught to strive, to prove yourself, to push until you collapse under pressure. But I am not asking for your performance. I am asking for your permission to be your strength. What I cherish most is your openness, not your perfection. To surrender is not to lose, but to enter rest. I see you clutching old patterns, thinking control will keep you safe. Yet what you grip most tightly is what I want to fill with my peace. Listen for my voice beneath the noise. You are mine. You need not earn my favor or beg for affection. My love does not increase when you succeed or fade when you stumble. All that I require is your yes, given even through trembling faith. Some of you question, can healing really happen here, in this ordinary moment? Yes, it can, and yes, it will. Today, as you go about your daily routines, do not be surprised if you sense a lightness overshadowing fatigue. You might find sudden clarity in the words of a stranger, or joy rising unexpectedly while you wash your hands or step into the sunlight. These are not coincidences. You'll know it's me because my peace will settle right where anxiety once lived. My spirit is fortifying your resilience, and soon you will recognize how the very places that once brought anxiety will become the stages for your testimony. Someone needs to hear this. Your scars are not shame. They are signs that you survived and that I never left you. Whisper that truth to yourself quietly. Say, I am whole because He is with me. When you feel the weight of waiting press upon your soul, remember that delay is not denial. I am not withholding what you need. I am preparing you to hold more than you ever dreamed. Every season serves a purpose, even the hidden ones. Much is taking shape that you cannot see, like seeds breaking open in the richness of hidden soil. Trust my timing. As you release the urge to measure by what others receive, you open your life to entirely new possibilities. Be still for one more moment. Breathe in my faithfulness. Exhale whatever you've been carrying for too long. Can you sense the anticipation growing? That is my spirit stirring hope where only resignation once lived. You may not recognize yourself in the mirror soon, not because you have become someone new, but because you will finally see the person I have loved all along. Do you feel it? How your chest rises with expectancy? How your heart slows as peace washes over you? This is not illusion. This is transformation. The world may not applaud the gentle healing I am working, but eternity celebrates every step you take toward freedom. Rest your mind as you take in this truth. You are part of a movement, a quiet uprising of those who dare to believe they are chosen, loved, and destined for greater things. Do not rush past this invitation. I am asking you now, will you let me in where you have kept doors shut? My longing for you is unshakable, and I will not grow weary of your process. You have hidden wounds you think disqualify you, but I say, they mark you for unique purpose. Even now, my compassion reaches into every darkened hallway of your story. The warmth on your skin, the steadiness you sense, is me, reminding you that in your greatest need, I am closer than your breath. Pause in this assurance. You are safe. You are being readied for the next step, though you may not see where your path leads. There is so much I desire to show you about the strength that's rising even as you rest. There is more stirring within. Can you feel the shift? There is a hunger within you that refuses to be quieted by earthly sources. You reach for things that shimmer, believing perhaps they will suffice, but only find yourself more aware of your longing. My child, do not shame yourself for this. That ache is not proof of absence. It is the signpost of my presence calling you deeper. You cannot numb what I placed in you for myself. Every time you've chased lesser comforts and found them hollow, I was near, not with anger, but with eyes of compassion. I am not put off by your attempts to self-soothe. I understand how sharp the ache of emptiness can feel, pressing against your hope and threatening disconnection from your purpose. Yet I offer you something those empty wells could never provide. Living fulfillment, overflowing and true. Lean in for a moment. Close your eyes if you are able. Feel my nearness rising now as a warm current over your heart. Let your shoulders drop. You do not earn this closeness by striving or pretending to be whole. I meet you exactly where your strength runs out. There are memories you carry, ones that resurface in quiet moments and demand answers. Why did I allow what wounded you? Why wasn't I louder or swifter or more obvious when chaos pressed? Little one, I have never missed a single tear. There is not one fragment of your story wasted. Not one moment escapes my redemptive gaze. Even your confusion serves a purpose you will one day bless. Breathe and rest in that. When the pain returns, as it sometimes still does, do not run from me. Invite me into those caverns of memory. Sit with me in the silence that follows and notice how my peace begins to saturate the old ache. You are not defined by scars. Every wound is being transformed into wisdom. You are learning to discern my hand even in the shadows, and this is evidence of your growth. What once paralyzed you is now bowing to the authority of my healing within you. Sometimes you believe that a transformed life must look a certain way, always radiant, constantly victorious. But transformation is often silent, hidden beneath surface struggle. Real change unfolds like healing beneath a bandage, unseen but unmistakable in time. Do not measure your worth by what others can observe. I see the moments you choose to forgive when bitterness beckons. I notice the strength it takes to return to me when shame whispers your failures. These small, secret choices are building a foundation that cannot be shaken. I want you to know that true resilience forms not in your perfection, but in your willingness to return and try again, no matter how many times you faltered. You are not a disappointment. Your story is not a series of failed attempts. You are, my chosen, steadily being remade from the inside out. Right now, you resist parts of my invitation because surrender feels like losing control. There's a temptation to hold the reins so tightly your hands ache, convincing yourself that safety comes from managing outcomes. But beloved, my provision never depends on your ability to map the way. Safety comes when you relinquish what was never yours to orchestrate and receive what I long to give. The illusion of control is a snare keeping you in cycles of anxiety and self-reliance. Loosen your grip. Release the demand to understand every step. You can trust my guidance even when visibility is poor. As you turn your focus from what you cannot see to the steadiness of my presence with you, anxiety begins to dissolve. Trial by trial, I am building trust in you, not just for yourself, but for the sake of many who will draw courage from your journey. Feel how your chest rises with your next breath. This is not accidental. Every inhale is my reminder. You are sustained by grace, not your effort. When you feel the numbness creeping in, when overwhelm threatens the edges of your peace, I invite you to return to this very moment. Place your hand over your heart. Sense the rhythm of life I've given you. With every beat, I whisper that you are chosen and never forsaken. Speak it softly aloud if you dare. I am wanted by love itself. Let this truth interrupt patterns of condemnation that repeat unbidden in your mind. Your body is a temple of my spirit, marked and sealed by my affection. Let yourself sense that holiness, even if only for a fleeting instant. This awareness is the doorway to greater intimacy with me. Do not fear retreating into my embrace. This is where you are most yourself. Questions arise as you consider where this path leads. Will your obedience cost you opportunities, relationships, dreams you hold close? It is honest to ask. My answer is not always what you expect. Sometimes a closed door is my hand shielding you from heartbreak you cannot foresee. Sometimes disappointment is protection, an invitation to trust that I know how to lead you even when the road curves away from your plans. I do not waste your desires, nor do I mock the years you spent hoping. What I have for you is always better than you would have chosen unassisted. Stay with me in this uncertainty. The moment you are tempted to self-protect, let your guard come down and rest your weary ambitions at my feet. There is a promise waiting just beyond your surrender. You might sense old fears rising as you draw closer to my heart. What if I become disappointed? What if you ask for too much? I know how deeply you desire assurance before you risk your hopes again. Hear me. My faithfulness is the anchor that holds when circumstances slip beyond your command. You have not wasted your years by trusting. Your vulnerability honors me more than your performance ever could. I am teaching you a new definition of strength, one that delights in dependence instead of self-sufficiency. The coming days will reveal opportunities to lean on me in unfamiliar ways. You will recognize my voice guiding you into new risk, but with a sense of safety you've never known. Let anticipation rise where anxiety once ruled. Goodness is approaching. Watch for the quiet evidence. Pause and notice the weight that has loosened inside you since you began listening. That is my touch on the innermost part of your being. No therapist, no friend, no partner can access this place the way I do. I see you rehearsing old patterns of unworthiness, but I am dismantling every agreement you've made with rejection. My mercy runs deeper than your regret, and my joy is birthing a new confidence in you. Where you've accepted limitation, I am writing possibility. Where you've called yourself broken beyond repair, I am speaking restoration with creative power. Do you sense the shift? Stay attentive. Soon you will discover new boldness as you walk through spaces you once avoided. There are those around you who sense change but cannot name its source. The radiance you carry now is not self-generated. It comes from our communion, a silent witness that beckons others out of hiding. Your healing is permission for someone else's breakthrough. The courage to be honest about your process is unlocking hope in hearts that have long given up. Thousands have stood where you are, terrified to take the next step. But I am assembling a movement of the awakened, and you are part of this unfolding miracle. Do not underestimate the impact of your yes. Your transformation is not a private achievement, but an invitation to greater partnership. The old shame that kept you isolated is being replaced with divine boldness. Step forward, beloved one. I am increasing your discernment and your capacity to love. Stay open. There is much more I will reveal. Let us move deeper into this holy conversation where you are learning how to rest in my reality, not just in moments, but as a continual stream within your days. Your efforts to hold on, to predict every outcome, have often left you tense and weary, but I am here in your now, inviting you to exhale the need to control outcomes that were never meant to be your burden. Let your heart become lighter as you notice my nearness, perhaps in the hush that follows a sigh, or in the pause just before you open your eyes and see sunlight painting your wall. This quiet company is not absent power. It is my gentle shaping of your innermost foundation. Uncertainty does not have the final word. When the road ahead feels shrouded, when you cannot see the next bend, remember this. I am the one who walks before you. My hand shields you, yes, but also clears your vision step by step. Doubt will whisper, you will wander forever, but my promise remains unchanged. Your journey has direction because my gaze is upon you. I am not distant nor haphazard. Even what seems slow or unseen is ordered by my wisdom for your good. Hold your questions close, but do not let them silence your expectancy. Within the noise of your responsibilities, allow a single sacred breath to call you back to me. Each task performed, whether in the hush of an early kitchen or in the late-day press of work, need not be empty labor. Invite my presence into each act, and I will fill the ordinary with peace. Feel the strength growing in your hands each time you surrender your day again to me. Even your smallest offerings, done in faith, ripple with a significance you cannot measure, but I see fully. There are moments when you worry who you are becoming under the weight of so many cares. Am I proud of you? Am I patient with all your false starts and quiet fears? Hear me. I cherish the one who keeps returning, who dares to trust even after stumbling. You are not measured by your pace, but by your nearness to my heart. On days when you feel inadequate or small, let my eyes lift your chin. I call you beloved, not for work completed, but for your presence and your hopeful region. See how I am softening the places in you that have grown hardened from disappointment. Let gratitude become your morning language, even if all you can offer is a faint thank you in the silence when you wake. This act draws my goodness nearer still, opening space for grace to mend what feels bruised or slow to heal. Remember, the newness I bring often begins in such simplicity: a sigh, a whispered prayer, the decision to notice the gentle dawn light instead of your old worries. You may worry that surrender means nothing will ever change, yet to surrender is not to give up, but to move with me. Picture a seed held just beneath the surface, darkness surrounding, yet a quiet, patient hope compelling it upward. So too, I call you to rest in places not yet visible to others. My timing is neither rushed nor lethargic. It is perfectly made for you, allowing roots to deepen before fruit appears. Trust that the waiting is never wasted if you let me transform your inner ground. Family, friendships, the world of hearts intertwined with your own, these are not left to chance. I am attentive to every ache, every joy you experience as you serve and love those I have placed around you. When you offer warmth, a listening ear, or forgiveness that costs, heaven draws near. What you think weak, soft words, patient silence, gentle hands, becomes the very atmosphere where my healing breath dwells. Nothing given in love, no matter how hidden, passes unnoticed by me. As you follow me in small daily obediences, you may sense the stirring of a new calling. Sometimes it arrives as a persistent idea, a longing that will not fade, or the unexpected courage to step toward the unknown. Do not dismiss these nudges. Each is a clue that I am shaping something through your life that will outlast your anxieties. Invite me to open doors that only my wisdom understands, and then walk forward even if you feel unsteady. My presence supplies what you lack at every threshold. You have wondered about protection, if I am truly safeguarding what matters most to you. When strong winds threaten, recall my faithfulness. I do not promise the absence of storms, but I pledge to keep you as my treasured one in the midst of them. Think of a hand laid gently on your shoulder, steadying you when the ground shakes. You are not alone. My defense is mighty, though it may come quietly, as peace in your bones or courage rising when you had none before. There are voices, both within and without, insisting that your destiny lies behind you or far outside your reach. Refuse to live bound by these lies. I see you as you truly are, gifted, beloved, appointed for just this time. Your past is not your verdict. Your future is not up for ransom to fear. I have spoken over your life identity and purpose that no circumstance can revoke. Return to this certainty whenever confusion tries to batter your resolve. Let my word stand taller than any accusation, firmer than shifting emotion. I am persistent in my patience with you, unmoved by your moments of agitation. When anxiety presses around your mind and anxious energy keeps you restless, draw aside and remember me. Let stillness become your shield. Listen. Can you sense the difference as you breathe slowly, letting my presence hush those whirling worries? Even now, I am pouring quiet resilience into you. What you see as fragility, I see as readiness to receive more of my strength. You do not have to understand every turn to receive my guidance. Each time you pause to seek me, in traffic, at your desk, amidst your family, I hear and respond. Divine wisdom does not always shout. Sometimes it arrives as a conviction, a sudden deep peace, or a door you cannot pry open but find surprisingly unlocked at the right moment. Trust my timing and voice above your guesses, releasing the pressure of getting everything right. My steady hand is enough for what is now and what is next. The day will keep moving, but you can move with me, not against the gentle current of my care. Let gratitude arise not only when complications resolve, but even in the uncertainty before answers come. I am near, always curious for your heart's response, wanting not just a list of requests, but your friendship, your noticing of my daily mercies. Allow yourself to linger here, resting in the assurance that I am still writing good into your story. This new openness will not disappoint. Each gentle surrender, every permission you grant yourself to hope again, makes more space for my presence. Watch your heart grow tender yet strong, confident not in self-sufficiency, but in belonging to me. The unfolding is not over. I remain with you, guiding and delighting in every tiny yes you offer as daylight shifts and doors appear. Do you sense the way my peace stretches before you? An unbroken path that your feet can trust even when every step feels uncertain? As you lean into me, hear how my presence steadies the inner trembling, making space for hope to rise quietly even under the surface of your anxieties. I have seen how storms have taught you to brace yourself, your shoulders tight with a readiness to defend against disappointment. But what I long for is the gentleness of trust, the way your heart can let go of constant vigilance when you recognize you are never walking these corridors alone. You aren't left to chart your own course defenseless. I am both your shield and your guide, moving ahead of you and beside you at the same time. Sometimes your mind circles back to old regrets, replaying choices that cannot be undone, moments that feel like missed doors in the hallway of your story. I don't ask you to erase or deny these memories. Instead, let them be the soil where you learn a new kind of dependence, watering each regret with gratitude that you aren't bound to the past. Watch how I transform what seemed barren into ground ripe for new beginnings. When you meet that old sadness in the quiet of your room, I invite you to speak my name, to invite my light into the ache. There is no shadow within you that my comfort cannot illumine. You may wonder, what if the thing I'm waiting for never comes? What if I step out and fail again? Bring those questions, with trembling hands, right into my presence. When you pause and let your breath slow, something within settles, a reminder that I am not measuring you by visible outcomes but by the willingness of your trust. My favor is not a prize given only to the flawless. I delight in the humble act of you reaching out to me, sharing your fears without filter. In that space of honesty, I respond with a nearness that does not disappoint. Breathe in this moment as sunlight gently fills the space around you. Let it remind you of how my mercies arrive new each morning, not recycled, not rationed, but fresh, carrying the promise that you were allowed to begin again. With each sunrise I speak over you. I am making all things new. Let these words soften the hardness of your self-judgment. Allow them to take root where you've grown weary. When gratitude feels far, notice even the smallest warmth, a cup of water, a friend's message, a cool breeze after a heavy day. Let these become touch points where my goodness slips quietly into view. Do you sometimes feel the ache of being misunderstood, even by those closest to you? When your intentions are lost in translation or go unseen, remember you are fully known by me. My understanding reaches past every tangled miscommunication. I see the love beneath every awkward gesture, the longing beneath every silence. In the stillness, let me remind you who you are. Not only what others name you, but my beloved, chosen to carry my light into every space you enter. This identity cannot be stripped away by missteps or criticism. It was set in place by my delight in you from the very beginning. Let each day's ordinary moments be an altar, a chance to recognize my presence not just in grand displays, but in the gentle echoes of laughter at the dinner table, in the comfort of a hand resting on your shoulder, in the tears that no one else witnesses but me. When frustration builds as you labor for outcomes that yet remain out of reach, allow yourself to pause. Surrender the need to control what is not yours to hold. Trust that every offering, each unseen kindness, every act of forgiveness is received by me and multiplied in ways that may surprise you when it is time. You might have noticed the internal tension as you try to carry burdens meant for my hands. Let me teach you what it means to lay down the invisible weights, resentments you've carried for too long, the worry that creeps in overnight, the pressure to make everything work. With each surrender, a new freedom seeps in. Space is made for joy to return, unforced and untamed. Lift your eyes from circumstances that seem slow to budge. Fix your gaze once more on me and remember my promise to walk with you through every valley and over every ridge. There is no terrain too difficult for my strengthening presence. When exhaustion settles in, you wonder if you have anything left to give. I see you here, where hope wavers and patience wears thin. Come and rest a while, letting yourself breathe deeply of my compassion. In your low moments I never recoil, I draw closer. Watch how I gather what seems broken, assembling it into something both beautiful and strong. My wisdom fashions possibilities where you only see obstacles. Instead of judging your exhaustion, I offer you rest, refilling your heart with courage for another step. There are seeds of purpose planted within you that may feel dormant in this season. The soil is dark, the growth invisible to others. Do not doubt the work I am accomplishing in hidden places. I know how to protect what I have planted, to water dreams that seem forgotten, nurturing them with my faithfulness. Listen for me in the small invitations, a chance to encourage a neighbor, a moment of kindness extended to a family member. No act of love is wasted. I use each one to draw you deeper into the fullness of your calling. In the days ahead, you will encounter both joy and challenge, gain and loss, clarity and mystery. Bring all of these to me. There is nothing too small to name. There is nothing too great for me to carry. When you feel the old urge to withdraw, to guard your heart out of fear that nothing will change, remember, I am your unchanging shelter. Stay close to me, even as you step into the unknown. My steadfastness holds you steady. You are awakening now into a life that does not resemble what you feared it would become. The grip of past regret is loosening as I draw you forward, gently but relentlessly, into the landscape of promise I have prepared. You notice, even now, that the heaviness is lighter than before, evidence that I am already at work within you, shifting what once seemed immovable. Where shame once whispered that you would always be marked by your failures, my voice now rises above accusation, naming you as chosen, forgiven, destined for more than survival. The tormentor tried to convince you that no progress was real, that transformation was only an illusion. But look around you. The air feels different, your spirit steadier, your hope less fragile. I promised that you would not walk these valleys alone, and every day I have sheltered you even when you doubted I was near. Pause, and sense me surrounding you. Do you feel the subtle warmth in your chest, that inner quiet where anxiety once roared? This is my nearness. Breathe it in deeply, as if filling your lungs with fresh morning air after a long, dark night. The journey here was long, yes. There were moments you wondered if you had been abandoned, if my silence signified absence. But my beloved, silence is not vacancy. My strategies are crafted for your ultimate freedom, not your comfort. Even as you questioned whether healing could ever outpace harm, I have been restoring what you thought was lost beyond reach. That dull ache deep inside, the one you tried to silence and bury, is lifting. Though this may feel unfamiliar, it is the sensation of resurrection stirring below the surface. You are not the same. Hear it again. You are not who you were. Old labels no longer hold authority over you. There is a deeper strength being formed precisely because of what you endured. My refining does not shame you, it crowns you. This season is not just for settling old accounts, but for unleashing gifts the world has never seen through you. Every tear you released in solitude watered now the seeds of new vision. There is purpose reframing your pain, testimony redeeming your wounds, identity built not on what you suffered but on who you are becoming in me. Reach for that newness. Risk being hopeful again, even if your hands tremble. When vulnerability rises, remember that you are shielded by more than hope. You are covered by my unwavering love. Do not underestimate what I am crafting in this space. I see you standing at the edge between the known sorrow and the new unknown. Fear tries to shout warnings, but what you sense beneath that fear is my invitation. You may think transformation is slow, almost imperceptible, yet each act of surrender accelerates the process. Feel the shift. When you release what has grown too familiar, those old looping stories of defeat, you make space for breakthrough to enter. This very week you will sense a peace arise during an ordinary moment, perhaps as you prepare a meal, or pause by a window. You'll know it's me because a memory that once stung will suddenly lose its power, and gratitude will well up instead. Mark that moment. It is evidence that your inner landscape is changing. Right now, there is a hunger awakening within you, a desire not just to be restored, but to be released for purpose. The lies once sown in your vulnerable moments are losing their grip. Where you've believed you are too wounded to help another, I am speaking a new assignment over you. Your scars are now luminous signs of survival. Your story, a lantern for those still trapped in darkness. The compassion you gained by walking through fire will ignite healing in others. Prepare your heart. I am entrusting you with influence beyond your imagination, but it will always flow from intimacy with me, never performance. Whisper it aloud if you dare. My story is not over. I am being commissioned. Feel how those words echo inside you, scattering residue of unworthiness. There will be days when doubt attempts to reclaim its ground. My child, do not be surprised. The enemy always intensifies his assault before a promotion, but you, courageous one, are now grounded within my presence. You are not at the mercy of your feelings. Emotions may surge, but you are anchored to my truth. When fear approaches, let it find you surrounded by my promise. You are not forsaken. You never were. Instead of shrinking, stand tall, even if your knees shake. My power manifests not in the absence of trembling, but in your willingness to rise anyway. This is what courage looks like in my kingdom. You display my glory not by having no scars, but by showing how I have healed what once bled. Close your eyes for a moment and notice the current running through your spirit now. Is it anticipation, or even tears that have nowhere to land except in my hands? All are welcome, all are noticed. Do not hurry past this sacred awareness. Let the sense of my nearness settle over your shoulders, a soft mantle, weighty with reassurance. You are not walking a weary path toward acceptance. You are traversing a highway made by my favor. Sometimes you will sense a fresh determination rise where resignation once haunted. Accept this as my doing. I am marking this season with signs so subtle the world will miss them, but you will not, because you have learned how to listen when I call your name in the hush. If you are tempted to believe the breakthrough was only for others, challenge that assumption now. Say it, I am worthy of restoration. My beloved, nothing delights me more than watching shame lose its hold on you. The old lie that you are too broken, too late, too far gone, it was never spoken by me, Every accusation that echoes those old words is counterfeit. I am the voice whispering, "Look again." Every forgotten place in you is being restored, not as it was, but better than before. The most barren ground becomes the most fruitful under my touch. That is what you are experiencing even now. Soon you will notice others drawn to the peace that now consistently fills your atmosphere. They may ask why the heaviness has shifted, why your countenance carries so much light despite lingering challenges. When that happens, remember, you are a living testament to my faithfulness. Share your story not as proof of your strength, but as a declaration of my presence and power. This too is how you are being commissioned, to carry hope into dry places, to speak life into those who have lost perspective. You are being prepared for assignment. Your influence will expand as you remain surrendered. You may wonder, how can I possibly sustain this? The answer is always intimacy with me, never your performance or perfection. When you sense striving rising within, pause, place your hand over your heart and breathe. Let your exhale carry away pressure, letting my peace settle deeper. You are, right now, being entrusted with keys, solutions, wisdom, spiritual authority that will open doors for others as well as yourself. These keys are not meant to burden you, but to enable you to unlock hope in places that have felt sealed shut. Your transformation is contagious. Light radiates, truth liberates, freedom multiplies. Let it ripple out from you in unseen ways. People you have never met will be changed because you refuse to remain hidden or silent. Do you sense the urgency in my voice? There is acceleration in the spiritual realm around you. I am stirring dormant things awake, quickening old dreams, highlighting fresh assignments. In all these, stay near to me. Your safety is not in knowing every detail, but in knowing me, your unshakable refuge. Feel your confidence rising. You've become more than a survivor. You are now a sower of hope, a carrier of life. And very soon, you will see why I have brought you this far. When your body grows tired and your spirit feels faint, know that I notice every strain, every ache, every uncertain pause. Bring your weariness to me without fear of rebuke. I am not indifferent to your struggles. I lean close when you sigh in the middle of the night, aware of how hard you're trying to hold it all together. You may have wondered if your limits are a flaw or a disappointment, but in your need I see an opening for my strength to become your rest. Instead of hiding your exhaustion, let it prompt you to reach for me. My arms are never withdrawn when you seek comfort. Let yourself relax, even now, and sense my presence settling over you like shelter from a sudden rain. Consider your heart as it beats steadily, even when concerns cluster at the edges of your mind. I provide air for your next breath and peace for the moments between thoughts. I remind you, little one, not to measure your value by constant activity or perpetual clarity. When you allow yourself to be still, even for a short while, you may experience how my spirit soothes and refreshes. Just breathe. As you close your eyes or lay your hand on your chest, let gratitude flow gently, not as a duty, but as a river teased from a stony ground by rainfall long desired. Each small act of quietness carries my approval. Sometimes your mind races with questions about your family and their safety, about paths yet unchosen. You ache to shield them from all harm, to foresee every twist of their road. I tell you now, my love covers your home even more surely than you ever could. Entrust those dearest to your care into my keeping one more time. Each whispered prayer for protection, every hope you resist voicing, I have received and treasured. I watch over those you love with relentless attention, neither sleeping nor growing distracted. Set the heavy packs of worry down for a moment. Let your trust make room for laughter to return. You wonder if the opportunities ahead of you are passing by too quickly or if doors will ever open wide enough for you to step through boldly. Do not measure the future by the silence or delays circling you now. Opportunity, in my hands, is not a single moment or a narrow gate. It is the unfolding of the destiny I imagined for you. You will not be left behind. When it seems that nothing is shifting, remember that I am already preparing paths you cannot yet glimpse. The quiet ground you walk on is becoming fertile, and your courage in waiting will yield a harvest timed in wisdom, not in haste. I see how you sometimes compare your journey to those beside you, wondering if your efforts truly matter or bear fruit worth celebrating. My child, the uniqueness I formed in you is not a barrier but a harmony meant for this season. When you are tempted to orphan your own strengths by wishing for another's, pause and let me remind you. Comparing diminishes the beauty of your becoming. Your life sings a melody only you can offer, and I delight in hearing it. Any sense of lack is not a verdict. It is merely an invitation to draw closer, to hear my assurance that you are chosen for the place you stand in now. Let your gratitude become more than polite words. Let it become the sunlight warming your decisions, the quiet foundation that steadies your steps. Think of how you've grown from trials that once threatened to break you. Name the kindnesses you've received, every gentle word that came just as hope was loosening its grip, every unexpected provision when fear snarled at the door. These are not only memories, they are stones I have laid beneath your feet so you could stand firm in unstable times. Your story is unfolding with layers of meaning still hidden to you, but known and cherished by me. Pace your day according to the rhythm of my peace. I am not a taskmaster driving you with anxiety, but the good shepherd who beckons you toward rest and renewal. When you find the courage to be honest about your limits, when you risk setting boundaries out of faith rather than fear, you step into the freedom I always intended for you. Protect your peace as a treasure entrusted to you for safekeeping, not to hoard but to nourish what matters most. Notice the one thing you can release right now, a worry, a guilt, an expectation, and place it in my hands. In that release, you will taste my nearness. When sorrow surprises you without warning or you feel invisible and misunderstood, remember that you are never out of my sight. My voice is not a distant echo sounding in grand displays, but a steady whisper in the ordinary moments of your day, while you brush your teeth, wait in traffic, or listen for footsteps at the door. I know your longing to be truly seen and your hunger for significance that isn't fleeting. Every gesture of love you give, even if unnoticed by others, shines before me. Let your identity be anchored here. You are mine, belonging not to your fears or failures, but to my delight. My timing often frustrates the plans you carefully arrange, yet each delay and every unexpected turn is not a punishment, but a mercy. I am guarding you from paths not meant for you, slowing your steps so that what I have prepared aligns with what you need most. In the waiting, let hope anchor you rather than weariness erode you. Expect good from me not because you've copied the right formula, but because I am steadfast and generous. My promises linger over you like the scent of rain before the downpour, signs of coming renewal, assurance that what you're hoping for has not been overlooked. For tonight, or whatever hour you hear these words, let your concerns return to me. I am the safe place where your sighs turn into songs. Receive now a fresh outpouring of my peace, not as escape, but as power to re-enter your circumstances with fresh courage and a heart emboldened by my love. Let your hope swell again, not from wishful thinking, but from my deep commitment to finish the good work I have begun in you. This is not the end of your journey, but another invitation to trust, to breathe, to remember that I am always, always with you. There is a knowing that settles deep within your bones as my presence intensifies around you in this very moment. You sense it now, don't you? The low hum of my nearness that cuts through layers of doubt and weariness, coaxing your spirit to breathe freely once more. Pause, beloved. Let yourself notice how your heart beats slower, steadier. That peace is my fingerprint pressed gently upon your life, erasing anxious tremors, rewiring old panic, healing the places nobody else could reach. I have always been the one who sees through the masks and the silence, the one familiar with the weights you drag silently behind your smile. There is no detail about you that escapes my loving gaze, not a single tear, not a single hope. When others have passed by your wounds, I have leaned in closer. My voice is breaking through every background noise now, persistent and unmistakable. Let it settle. I am closer than your breath. You have doubted your worth for too long, tangled in lies that you are behind, forgotten, too far gone. But I declare over you, with the full force of infinite authority, that your identity has never been up for negotiation. You are chosen, marked, claimed. There is no flaw or scar in you that repels me, not even in the aftermath of old failures. I knew every part of your journey before you ever took your first step. When shame tried to be your only narrator, I was there, whispering a different story, one of relentless acceptance. Will you finally dare to believe that you are deeply wanted, not just tolerated? Place your hand over your chest right now. and feel the undeniable rhythm of life echoing from my own heartbeat. That is the proof which shame cannot erase. Say with trembling certainty, I am beloved. I am His. Even now, a fresh wind begins to stir within you. Where heaviness ruled, where you once felt suffocated by circumstances out of your control, my spirit now breathes clarity and boldness. The questions you have held, why it hurt, why it lasted so long, why the breakthrough seemed to tarry, are not being ignored. I am weaving your pain into strength you didn't know you possessed. Your wounds are becoming channels through which my light and comfort will flow out to others. Every no that broke your heart was a redirection, not a rejection. The parts of your story most hidden will soon become the places through which others find hope. Watch how I resurrect buried dreams, giving you a beauty that no one can take away. That restlessness you feel today, the subtle sense that something is about to break open, is my invitation to lay down every illusion of control. You were never meant to struggle alone, nor to orchestrate your way out of the maze of anxiety and fear. Let me be the shield around your mind, the steadying hand over your racing heart. Breathe deeply, beloved. Allow your shoulders to relax as you settle into the safety of my embrace. I am doing a new thing in you, something that does not depend on your perfection or performance. This is the hour to surrender striving and step into assurance. Even your doubts are not an obstacle for me. Your willingness is all I ask. You have been noticing signs, the sudden calm in a stormy moment, the reassuring words spoken by someone who could not have known your secret need, the warmth that envelops you as you read these words. I am speaking to you, confirming that you are not off course. In fact, you have never been more aligned with my purpose than now. I am orchestrating connections, opportunities, and conversations that will bring you clarity and favor. Within 72 hours from now, expect to hear or see something that will confirm what I've planted in your heart tonight. You'll know it is me because it will carry my signature piece, undeniable and unmistakable. Remember, what I start, I always finish. Pause again, and really feel your body in this moment. Notice how, even amidst the noise of the world, your mind has quieted and your spirit is no longer restless. This stillness is not emptiness. It is the fullness of my presence crowding out fear, filling up every hollow with strength and assurance. In this holy pause, I am restoring what weariness has taken. You are not alone in this. Many have walked this path and been sustained by these same words. You are now part of a movement of the awakened, those rising from the ashes to shine my light in a darkened world. There is a commission upon your life. What once broke you now becomes the very place of your anointing. The wisdom mined in suffering, the compassion forged in neglect, the hope carved out of despair, all these are being entrusted to you as gifts to give away. You are a vessel, uniquely shaped by every battle you have survived, perfectly fit to carry my light where it is needed most. Do not compare your journey to another's. I have crafted yours with detail and intentionality that surpasses all earthly understanding. You are no longer just surviving. You are being launched into your true calling. Watch as doors swing open that seem to have rusted shut. Let your heart start dreaming again, even if hope feels risky. I am not calling you to ignore reality, but to see reality through my eyes. With me, the story does not dead end in waiting or disappointment. I am the one making all things new, redeeming wasted years, and restoring joy that once seemed lost for good. Even now, your heart recognizes this as true. You feel it, don't you? That ignition of desire, that willingness to be vulnerable before me. That is faith being reborn from the ashes of old disappointments. Hold it. Nurture it. As you step forward, remember this. You and I are inseparable. My spirit is fused to yours. Separation is a lie. Absence is only ever a shadow. You are enfolded, protected, and propelled by love that does not flicker or fade. The world may shift and storms may arise, but my commitment to you is the one unbreakable constant. Take courage, for you are not who you used to be. You are marked by resurrection. There is no going back, only forward into greater glory. This is the threshold of your metamorphosis. Walk with renewed confidence, speak with boldness, love with abandon. The story we write together now cannot be stolen, erased, or diminished. I am with you in every silent night, every whispered prayer, every unsure step. You are mine. That will never change. Amen. If this word stirred something deep within you, stay connected to these daily reminders of my faithfulness. Press that button now, not for content, but for communion. I will meet you here tomorrow, speaking life again into the places that need it most.